But are markets expecting, in your view, something big from this year's budget?
Well, I don't think they're expecting anything negative. I don't know positive, right? But there is not real, there is no retail or public participation still in the market. I am personally hopeful it will come after the budget.
But in your view, STT and LTCG, can they coexist?
They should not. Nowhere in the world do they do. So if the government, best thing is government abolish one of them. I think long-term capital gain is better because STT, the government gets the money 10-12,000 crores from 2 exchanges without any administrative cost, right? So I think it's better if we abolish long-term capital gains. If government cannot abolish it, make it 1 or 2 years.
Your budget is all about taxes. So I have to ask you another follow-up question on taxes, which is that direct dividend tax. Is that a draconian tax?
Well, I think the 20% dividend tax is not draconian, but the tax put on dividend income is according to me not needed.
So if there is a change on LTCG and direct dividend tax?
No, direct dividend tax is most undesirable. But again, you have to, then do TDS, then collect the income. It is administratively a nightmare. This tax which the companies pay, I think, is much more convenient. But then anybody who has unit income of more than 10 lakhs has to pay tax. I think that's unjustified. Because you have a 25% rate of tax, then you pay 20%. Again, you pay 10%, that becomes very high. So I think 20% rate of dividend distribution tax is okay, and I don't think we should tinker there.
You talked about that more than slowdown, there is a perceived slowdown. But if I talk to corporates, people, some of them are common friends, when every time slowdown has happened, some smart guys have always come out and committed to capital and equity. This time around, that surge, that desire, that annual split is missing. Why is that?
I don't think so. Why people are not? People are, wherever there is demand, wherever there is paucity of capacity, people are committing. But people also, because earlier risk taking in India or risk failure was excused easily, people were ready to take risk easily. Now if you take risks and you fail, the consequences are higher. I think that is what is making people more careful.
Then what happens to the inefficient or the small MSC and SME companies?
Well, small MSME, SME companies are not big. They have their own strengths, right? It's not all over the world. There is a small, even in America, the major manufacturer is the small MSME and the small manufacturer. So I don't think anything is going to happen to them.
Which are few of the government actions which you think markets and nobody is taking notice of? Which have happened and nobody.
I think this reduction, this new coal policy has not been, except Mr. Jindal, nobody has welcomed it in any serious manner, right? Government is trying to enhance the ease of doing business. Right, they are trying to do all reaction should be through the net, right? So government, the income tax return should be assessed without communication between the assessee. So government is trying to create all this, but it's not easy in a country like India.
And where do you think government needs to catch up? Where you think ideally?
I think one thing is defense procurement. We have not been able to do anything in defense procurement.
Frankly, we've not heard any big bang announcement even after the corporate tax cut from any of the MNCs. It's been about 3.5 months now. Our manufacturing rates are lowest now.
Well, we don't want any big bang announcements. Right? We want the actual work to be done. I think it will come 101%.
In last 10 years, all emerging market currencies have suffered. Dollar is where the strength is, and Indian dollar or Indian rupee has gone down by more than 50%, and yet exports have not picked up.
Well, the 2 to 3% depreciation of the rupee every year, 3% at least is minimum because of the difference in inflation. As far as export goes, see, India's biggest export, actually net export, is software. They are going up. Other areas is, unless we do ease of doing business, unless we create better circumstances, exports going up is difficult.